green flag waved at the back. The 5-second board is shown from the gantry. So for the first time today here at Silverstone on the international circuit, we're going to get racing underway for 15 minutes. It's Shepherd on the right, it's Deegan on the left, and the race gets underway then. Pretty even start from the cars towards the front of the grid. It looks like everyone is away cleanly, and it's Deegan with that inside line, which is actually second on the grid. He is going to sneak through into the lead at Abbey for the first time. So Shepherd already losing a position, but I'm sure he'll fight back. I think it looks like Luke Rosewell has slotted into third place for the moment, and I think still fourth is the number 87 car of Jack Lees. So those two have held station, Marcus, as they head around Village for the first time.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Coming up to that first corner at Abbey, if you've got your nose ahead from P2 on the grid, you effectively block the pole man's opportunity of getting across to the apex. It's not really a great overtaking zone in a race, but they're coming down the hanger straight now, so they're slipstreaming like mad. Shepherd pops out of the slipstream and tries to go around Deegan. They were very, very close there. It's a bit slippery out on the marbles on the outside, but they're side by side, abreast through, and there's another on the exit. He goes ahead, doesn't he? Shepherd nips ahead on the exit of Stowe, down into the Vale, into the approach to Club.
And Deegan's certainly giving no quarter down there into Stowe, so it's Shepherd. Before the end of the first lap has got back into the lead. Deegan there going a little bit wide through Club corners. They come back onto the Hamilton straight. It's still the car in third place of Luke Rosewell. Fourth is the number 87 of Jack Lees. Mark Barmer fifth. Jeff Humphries is up to sixth from his 8th place starting position. And some damage there by the looks of it on the front of Barmer's car. So he's probably biffed somebody or something during the course of that first lap, although he has held on to his starting position of 5th. There is Barmer now. He's got the number 5 car behind him. That's Jeff Humphries trying to go around the outside of him at Village, which is very difficult to do. Then there's the 28 car, the white, red and blue car of Joe Jessup. He's in 7th place at the moment, but Barmer with that damage to the front bumper, and we've got a retirement as well. That's the number 16, so that's Brett Evans. He's got some damage to the passenger door there, Marcus.
Yes, we've always got some close racing among these. Oh, and there's another one, 96 is off as well.
That's
in
Tim
the
Necklin.
gravel.
Tim Necklin off there into the gravel.
That's more of a problem. That's between the end of Vale and Club. Their marshal's working on that. They won't get there now in a hurry. It's beached up to its axles.
Yeah.
Another car is involved in that. It's driving away out of our shot as well.
Okay, so no overtaking certainly at this part of the circuit with those double waved yellows, so Humphries has to stick in behind the slightly hobbled Barmer at the moment. Then, as we say, Jessup, the 77 car, is Mark Dickin. So before we got to the yellow flags, it looked like Dickin got ahead of Nick Garner, who ended up in 7th place. But the safety car boards are now out, so the safety car, I think, is going to pick them up, and that's not particularly a surprise given the that car off into the gravel at the Vale, as you said, Marcus.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's an odd place. The car's not that far. Oh, that's a mess, isn't it? That's the 88 coming in.
Tristan Fletcher.
Yeah.
So I imagine I did see that car sort of going across the front of the shot while we're looking at the car in the gravel.
Some fisticuffs there.
Where did they start? Fletcher and Necklin were 1 row apart on the grid, so not particularly a surprise if they did get caught up with one another. So that's Necklin's car, and the marshal's just moving out of the way. It looks like there's a recovery vehicle on their way to try and pick that up. Hopefully it will tow out of the gravel, but that won't be straightforward. So the 750 Motor Club safety car leading them around. All of this time counts, of course. All of these laps count in this 15-minute race. So the drivers will be hoping that it's not too significant a disruption.
Yes, the answer is approaching. We've got a big four-wheel drive digger coming to pull the 96 car of Necklin out of the gravel. You can see the marshals going over now to get an attendance, and the driver Tim Necklin is still in the cockpit. It won't take very long. There'll be only one winner in this contest, and that'll be the 4x4, the Hoik, the Hoister JCB, made near Utoxeter. JCB, the Bamford family has a long history in motorsport, going right back to wonderful Ferrari that ran at Le Mans. The first Chevron B8, the only Chevron B8 to race at Le Mans, was a JCB car. It was Roger Eniver and Pete Brown, I think, drove it in most of the races in those yellow colours. Anyway, that'll be hooked up to the strap on the front of the 96 car, and the crocodile continues round. But 3 or 4 cars I think made it quite around those first couple of laps.
Yeah.
Opening exchange is always very difficult, but here they go behind the Renault Megane.
The convenient thing is that's very close to the pit lane entrance, so they should be able to get that car to a position of safety relatively quickly, I would think, and hopefully this might be the last lap under the safety car, if that can be moved as quickly as I think it might be. So the driver's moving around to keep some heat in the tyres. As you say, we have lost potentially a few of them. Let me just check on our live timing. Don't forget you can check the live timing out as well if you'd like to. If you head to the 750 Motor Club website, 750mc.co.uk/calendar, or the resultslive.co.uk. We're down to 22 cars circulating, so I think we've lost 4 of them altogether.
So well done, General Grabber and the marshalling posse who've hauled Neckland's car out. It's been biffed at the front, but hopefully can be repaired for the second stanza this afternoon. It looks fairly cosmetic in actual fact, because I think most of that damage was probably done when it went into the gravel.
I would think so, yes. Yeah. And there you can see the pulling it behind the barrier rather than down the pit lane. So this is round 7 of the championship, 12 rounds altogether. So far I've had races at Silverstone on the national circuit, at Croft and at Snetterton last month. As I say, Adam Shepherd winning 5 of those 6, Lee Deegan the other winner. Safety car lights are out, by the way, so we are going to get a restart. And after this weekend at Silverstone, it's only 2 weeks before the next race. That's at Anglesey. That was rearranged from June because of the coronavirus restrictions in Wales being a little bit different to those in England, although I think they've now released pretty much all of their restrictions in Wales now as of today. And Brands Hatch as well in September will be the final round of the season for the Tegiwa Type R Trophy.
Anglesey is diametrically opposed to Silverstone. Silverstone pretty flat. Yes. Anglesey is just an extraordinary place.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's a spectacular circuit, really driver circuit as well, but a great place to spectate and spend time as well. Anyway,
indeed.
Yellow flags still waving for the moment, but they'll get the green flag as they come round and get a restart with about half of the race still remaining. 7 minutes and 20 seconds have gone, so 7 minutes and 40 seconds left to go as the green flag waves on the start and finish line, and it's Shepherd then leading the way.
He was trying to make good his escape, and he ran really wide at Club, trying to maximise every mile an hour out of that car for the run up Hamilton Straight to try and break Deegan before they got going again.
He was, and he seems to have made a really reasonably decent fist of it, because it looked like there's about a second between himself. This is a little bit closer, a bit further back down the order. That's the 15th and 16th. Maybe the latter. Samuel Dennis and Chris Sparks, the 2 cars involved there. And there you can see the number 11 car with a sort of slightly Martini-esque livery. That is Martin Piccolo in 19th position.
Yeah, that's a pretty looking car, nicely turned out. A lot of them are really imaginatively done, which is great. And of course these days with wraps and all the vinyl you can put on them, you can change the look of the car quite dramatically, relatively affordably.
Absolutely right. So the cars making their way down the Hanger Straight. There is that 95 and 27 battle, not quite as close as it was, between Samuel Dennis in 15th and Chris Sparks in 16th. The 85th car going through shot is Aaron Thornton. Just behind him is number 3, that's Alex Baldwin. So as they turn their way out of Stowe down towards the Vale, they are still having a pretty good battle down the order at the moment. There you can see Luke Rosewell going through shot. He's in 3rd place, but he's now 2.5 seconds behind Lee Deegan, who in turn is 1.7 seconds behind the leader Adam Shepherd, which is why we're not looking at those at the moment, because they're getting a little bit spread out. So a battle down the order. That red car there, the number 70, was that of Travis Coyne in 11th position.
Well, here comes our leader then, and that is Adam Shepherd, who's out onto the Hanger Straight for the 6th time. The order behind him hasn't changed significantly, and here come that midfield pack, many of whom have the yellow square on the back of the cars with the black cross indicating they're novice drivers new to motorsport, and after a few races they can, subject to satisfactory driving, discard those crosses, and that's really to allow the more experienced drivers when they come to lap them in longer races, just to say, well, okay, you're new to this, I'll give you a slightly wider berth, in theory anyway.
Just battle going on there. That's for 6th and 7th. That's between number 5, Jeff Humphreys. He's a very experienced and successful driver. Just behind him is number 28, which is Joe Jessup. Both of them going very wide at club. They've dropped Mark Dickin, number 77, a little bit. But Joe Jessup here in the 28 car, who coming into this weekend was well down in the championship. No, he was 4th in the championship, beg your pardon. He's looking to improve here because he's a little bit further back than he'd like to be, I think.
Yeah, the black car in front of him, I see, had a little bit of damage to the rear bumper, which is just flapping a little bit. There's no danger of it coming off, I wouldn't have thought, but you can just see that. And there's obviously been a little bit of a skirmish earlier on in the race somewhere. And they come out of the link onto the hangar straight. Now it's here where Joe Jessup should be able to get that toe, and he's not running, not having to force the air out of the way himself. Can he duck out? Is he close enough to have a try into Stowe? Maybe not.
Joe Jessup has had a couple of 4th place finishes so far this season. No, he doesn't make the move there. Looking a bit further back, that's the 42 car of Nick Garner. So on this lap already, he's found his way ahead of the number 77 of Mark Dickin. So Garner up into 8th position as we move into the final 4 minutes or so of this race. Down towards the Vale goes this little scrap then. That's got Garner at the head of it. The other driver involved is number 70, Travis Coyne. He's the last car inside the top 10. They make their way out of Club Corner onto the Hamilton Straight, as it's now known, but they're quite a distance back from that battle between Humphreys and Jessup.
Yes, they are, but there's 3 of them here, headed by that 42 car, which is Nick Garner, and a little bit of understeer there from Dickin in 77, and that's allowed his rival to get a little closer. 70 car Travis Coyne there. All about exit speed onto the longer straights here to carry that speed, build that potential for an outbraking manoeuvre to the next corner.
Up front, Adam Shepherd now leading by more than 3 seconds, and that's really been the story of the season so far. It's been a pretty dominant showing. Here is the 11 car of Martin Piccolo. He's just been in behind 85 Aaron Thornton and Alex Baldwin as well. So this is the scrap for 17th, 18th and 19th position. So pretty much all the way down the order you will find a decent battle going on as Shepherd continues to lead up front. But this is the battle much further back. Alex Baldwin it is in the number 3 car heading through, and he is going to be challenged there by 85 around the outside. Is Thornton going to get that done? Both of those drivers you can see are novice drivers, as Marcus was explaining. He's not got that move done there, Marcus.
No, but Piccolo has a good look as well, but he's not quite close enough. And now the 85 car there went in a little bit deep, and that's allowed Piccolo to get closer. So that was Thornton running a little bit deep out of the Vale, and that's brought them all right back together for the rush up past the wing, past the Formula One pits towards Abbey. Not really a traditional overtaking place. There's not a lot of grip on the outside there, but they'll get compressed again when they come up to Village Corner, which they approach now, which is quite a tight right-hander down the gearbox. Little rise coming out of it, and a kink in the middle just to throw the balance of the car out a tad, and then down onto that hangar straight again, back to one of the remaining parts of the original circuit.
Yes, there's not too many of those, is there? Certainly this time it looks like the 3 car of Baldwin has broken away a chunk from Thornton, so I don't think we're going to see the challenge into Stowe that we saw a lap ago. You're not missing anything particularly up front, by the way, with Shepherd continuing to extend his lead. There he is, 4.6 seconds now clear of the rest. And we know Adam Shepherd's a very good driver, but it's surprising, given the calibre of some of the drivers around him and the fact that these are very evenly matched cars, that he's able to get away like this.
Yes, it's obviously very well set up. You do a lot of work in the opening couple of laps of these races, and if you can break somebody, particularly when they're clear of the rest, it's very, very difficult to bridge that gap to get back with the leader. I mean, you can see that the best laps best lap of Shepherd is 3/4 of a second quicker than the best lap of Deegan.
Yeah.
So Deegan really kind of has had to settle for second place here, knowing that he's clear of the rest.
Yeah, we're on the last lap. Mark Barmer seems to have caught Jack Lees. He's trying to go around the outside of him at Stowe for 4th position with that slightly biffed front end on his car. He's not made that work, but Adam Shepherd heading down into the final corner. 15 minutes have ticked by, so checkered flag will be awaiting him, but there it is. So Adam Shepherd wins, and he flashes the headlights in delight. It's going to be Lee Deegan second. Here's that battle for 4th and 5th. It looks like Lees is just about going to be able to hang on from the late attack from Mark Barmer. So it's number 47, Luke Rosewell, that took 3rd position. Jack Lees, 87 in 4th. Mark Barmer in 5th. And then a gap back to Joe Jessup eventually, quite lonely in 6th position, number 28. 7th to number 5, Jeff Humphries. 8th, Nick Garner, 42. Then Mark Dickin and Travis Coyne completing the top 10. Further back, that's the Samuel Dennis car, number 95. About to go through in 16th place behind Connor Murphy and Chris Sparks. So they were 13.
The one driver that dropped back a little bit from that was Daniel Chapman, didn't he? He dropped back behind the likes of William Puttergill in 83. Daniel Chapman finishing in 12th place in kind of before, ahead of Ash Moore.
Yeah, he did lose positions from his starting slot. So there we go then. Adam Shepherd has now won 6 out of 7 races this season in the Tegiwa Type R Trophy. Still the final few cars coming through. That's Brett Evans, I think. That's Matthew Duffel coming through in 20th position, I beg your pardon, just ahead of 21st and 22nd, which was Chris Stone and Graham Waterhouse. So I think that's everyone finished their race now. But Adam Shepherd, 6 wins out of 7 this season, only 5 more races to go. So with a couple of drop scores to take into account at the end of the season, he's looking pretty good for the championship, one would think, and a couple more victories should do it for him, I would think, Marcus. Yeah,
very much so. He has been head and shoulders above the rest in a lot of the races, and thus he's proved again with the Shepherd Motors Honda Civic Type R. Another excellent victory today.
There you can see the cars heading into the pit lane. There's the 750 Most Club podium boards there, 1st, 2nd and 3rd, that have been laid out, so the drivers know where to stop, and hopefully the remaining drivers will make their way past them and into Parc Ferme. There is Adam Shepherd though, and the helmet matches the car, which is good to see, but he'll be very pleased and relieved, I would think, to have got that victory under his belt. A shake of the hands with Lee Deegan there, and I think we're going to see Adam presented with his winner's garland, and any moment now we'll be able to head down, I would hope, and have a word with Adam Shepherd. So we can see the rest of the cars, yes, they're all trying to queue up to get into the scrutineering position, post-race Parc Ferme. I think just rerouting them somewhat from where they were expecting to go. But it looks like we are now ready to go down to the pit lane, and we'll hear from Josh Barrett for the first time today with Adam Shepherd.
So we're down here in the pit lane after our first race of the day. It's another win for Adam Shepherd. Well done, Adam. I give you your winner's garland. Yeah. So that's, I think, 6 wins in a row now for you, and a really hard move to go around the outside of Lee to get the win.
Yeah, I think it's going well. The move was a bit sketchy. Lee closed the door quite late and quite hard, so I was a bit on the gravel on the way in, and went round the outside, and he started to understeer, so it was either get stoved in the door or run wide. So I think it was fair to stick there, given I was around the outside and needed the space, to be fair.
You two are obviously very experienced drivers. I think both of you said you sort of trust each other to race side by side really close like that.
Yeah, it was a brilliant race. We'd done it before at Silverstone. We raced bumper to bumper the whole race without a single touch. So yeah, we know we can do it, and yeah, it was a good race. Enjoyed that. And I guess going into race 2 later, again, you've got that same situation where Lee's going to be alongside you on the inside. Yeah, it's a bit. I think putting pole on the inside's a bit wrong, personally. You're almost guaranteed to be in the lead on the back straight, so probably the same again in race 2, and see how it goes into the end of the lap.
Well done to Adam Shepherd, our winner. Second place was Lee Deegan. Lee, you make your way over here. Second again. You managed to get the lead this time, but again, wasn't quite able to hang on.
Yeah, I mean, out of 7 starts now, I've always got the best start and edged it into the first corner, but the car doesn't seem to have the legs really. It was a good battle with Adam. We didn't touch. As always, it's always clean with me and Adam, so respect's there, which is good. But yeah, we just can't live with that car. He's got it on rails, and we need to find a bit more.
Any ideas? Anything you can do in the race later today?
Bit of rain, that would be nice. Yeah, so I'm doing a bit of a rain dance for this afternoon, and we'll see what we can do.
Well, good luck with that. Well done in second place, and in third position was Luke Rosewell, who is over here. And again, sort of a similar picture with the other two. It's third position again for you, Luke. Yeah. You had a battle though, I think, from behind.
Yeah, Jack was closing in on me. I was struggling a bit with the car compared to qualifying, so I need to have a look. But yeah, it kept me on my toes. He had a few sort of looks up the inside, and yeah, kept it interesting.
And looking to the race later on, any changes perhaps you want to make into your car?
Yeah, I think we need to find a bit to catch the other two. I think we're on Lee's pace this morning, so we need to sort of get back to that. Yeah, so we'll have a look.
I think you did single-seater racing before, so how are you finding that adapting to the Civic?
Yeah, it just had like a little old Formula Ford. It was a lot more wheel-to-wheel racing, whereas this is sort of a lot based on qualifying. There's not as much slipstream towing, whereas in the Formula Ford, if you're sort of half a second off, you can still race. So it's tough, but it's competitive. This really.
Well done on another third position. So that's our top 3 from the first race of the day. The Tegiwa Type R Trophy. Third was Luke Rosewell, second Lee Deegan, and the winner once again, Adam Shepherd.